Welcome back to Excel. This is a mental evolution podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Seth Rose. And today is episode 56, where we are starting off the new year after a little hiatus with some family vacations and holidays and the sickness and flu going through the house. But we're back. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about this idea of stress, and not all stress being inherently bad. So, there's a lot of different types of stressors out there. We have acute stressors, we have chronic stressors that build up over time. We also have good stress and bad stress. And research shows that the way that we think about stress determines many of our health outcomes and how it affects us. And so the bottom line here is that we can have a positive or productive outlook on stress. And there's a lot of research done by Dr. Kelly McGonigal. She wrote the book called The Upside of Stress, and how she perceives stress as being a positive, and she calls it a stress is enhancing mindset. And so what she believes is that a stress is enhancing mindset may lead to more optimal physiological responses in the body. It can help positively influence your performance, the way that you think, the way that you learn, your health, your overall well-being, your relationships, etc. And it's interesting because, the way that we think about stress really matters. They've even done research where they conducted research with Navy SEALs at their Special Warfare Training Center. And they demonstrated that candidates going through their selection and their training courses who reported having a greater stresses enhancing mindset persisted longer through the training, upwards to 12% longer. A lot of the times, too, they finished their obstacle course faster, about 4 to 5% faster, which is about 30 seconds for their obstacle course from what the research tells us. And they also were perceived to be more positively influential, or just more positive in general by their peers. They had 60% fewer negative evaluations against each other, which in these types of selection courses, peer evaluations is a big part of it. So to have 60% fewer negative evaluations is pretty big. And then lastly, they saw that cadre, or that means, basically the instructors of the course, had 30% fewer negative comments per week compared to the average candidate during those courses, when compared to candidates who had an average stress mindset. So the bottom line here is that when you view stress as a positive, physiologically, we're seeing not as much higher blood pressure. Heart rate doesn't spike the same way. The way that we perceive it is actually beneficial, and we view things as a challenge versus a threat. And it really affects the outcome of your performance, your behaviors and your actions, and the way that you feel about different things, versus viewing stress as harmful. Can sometimes lead to, blood vessels being constricted, vasoconstriction, higher blood pressure. It can lead to things like hostility and what we call a threat response, where you're viewing challenges as a threat to yourself versus a challenge or an opportunity to grow. So if you want to learn more about a stress is enhancing mindset, you can check out, like I said, Dr. McGonigal's book, The Upside of Stress. But take a gut check here and think about the way that you think about stress, and how can we, consider reframing stress in a more productive light. Just some great reflection there. And really changing our mindset here, that stress can be can be good for us, and it can help us push through struggles and really push us to grow as individuals. Thanks for sticking around. I'm looking forward to a great year 2025 with y'all. Thanks for following along, and we'll catch you on the next one.